racing aside the lane and round what looked like a rather large obstacle.
Gets his head down, he's in a terrifying position.
This is The Domestics, presented by Black Sheep Cycling.
Well, the fastest stage since 1999 when Mario Cipollini took the stage, over 50 kilometres per hour average. Well, welcome back to the Domestics podcast. A big thank you to Black Sheep Cycling. He's been missed, but he's backed. I've gained one, but lost the other. Marco has jetted to Europe, but Hollywood is back. How are you, mate? How's your week going?
I'm very good. I thought you were going to say, when you were saying 50 kilometres an hour, you thought you were going to talk about North Road long on Wednesday, because that was a very quick morning. But no, it was a Tour de France. I'm good. It's good to be back.
Well, before we get to our special guest, do you want to defend yourself? Marco was slating you on Monday that you were dropped on the Beach Road Bash.
Look, even champions have bad days. And I did get dropped twice, but now thanks to Join Cycling, I've signed up. It's very easy to sign up, and it automatically syncs across to your Zwift account and your Strava and all that stuff. So I will be on the comeback to turn that around thanks to Join Cycling.
Well, it was a good transition. I was about to say I know just what you need, but Joint Cycling have over 800 cycling workouts. 800! And that's why we love them. But also, a lot of us at the moment are running and cycling, and they do both. I know a few people who use the Runner app. I'd get rid of that. And just check out Join. You put in your running goal, put in your cycling goal, type in your availability, and Join write you the entire program. You can click the link in our show notes, join.cc/domestique. Sign up for 30 days free to check it out. There's no lock-in. You just get to have a go of it, and it's really impressive. Well, speaking of coaching, our special guest today returns to the Domestiques. He is a gold medalist on the track. He competed and completed, I think, 11 Grand Tours over his career with stage victory at the Vuelta a España. However, he is best known for being one of the best lead-out men in the peloton, riding for HTC, Team Sky and Lotto, with Andre Greipel crediting most of his wins to the great man. It is Kiwi Greg Henderson. Welcome back, Hendo.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, Hendo, before we get into the tour, and I can't wait to break down what you think of all the sprints, tell us about, you're over in Europe again this year, but you've got a new role this year. What's happening for you?
Yeah, I'm predominantly coaching. Obviously, it's something I really enjoy. Looking after everything from World Tour riders, track riders, gravel riders, all ages and capabilities. It's something that's really passionate to me, actually, because I get a real kick from it, seeing them achieve. And it goes really nicely with the studies that I did. Obviously, when I finished my career, I finished off my exercise science degree, and it's just really a passion of mine. So I've really moved my focus towards that this season, and I've been really, really enjoying it.
You've certainly turned around Chris McKay. I've noticed him gone from this just punter, now he's flying into bunches. So you've certainly turned him around. He loves you coaching him. You've done a great job with him. He's a great guy.
Thank you. No, he's really cool. Like I'm having a great time, and I think he just loves the structure of a program.
Yes.
Like it's just really what to do each day. You can get carried away on the bunch rides, as you know, Lee, and sometimes you do need a bit of structure, and
yes, very true.
And I don't get me wrong, there's so much benefit on a really fast, really fun bunch ride, and you've got to keep training fun, but mix it up and get him out there and doing the stuff that he's missing, and he's really coming along nicely, and he's enjoying it, which is the main thing.
Hendo, are you doing much in the sprinting? You've obviously done a lot of coaching in sprinting with the professional teams. Are you doing much of that anymore?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit. Looking after some riders here in Girona. Noah Hobbs, for example, he rides for EF actually, and but I'm in constant contact with him. And then obviously with the team Q36, we're doing a bit of work. But yeah, it's a step back a little bit actually from time on the road. Yeah, just for me it was just too much, and I'm just really enjoying what I'm doing now.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, you were one of the first to come to mind that we wanted to have you on after 2 sprint stages back to back, and with your knowledge and expertise, not just as a lead-out rider, but I think you've always got such a good viewpoint. I always find that lead-out riders actually have the best analysis of sprints. When it comes to the raw sprinters, they get to just do the last sort of 100 meters, but the navigating and what the lead-outs do, it's really those riders who deliver the riders to the front, unless you're sort of Tim Merlier, who seems to be able to do it on his own. But I feel like I can watch sprint stages like 20 times. You pick one rider and you just re-watch the last kilometre. You pick another rider and re-watch it again and again. And it's just such an art where 100 different things need to go your way to pull it off. But stage 12, or actually before we get into stage 12, Hendo, what's your viewpoint of how the sprints have been overall so far at La Tour?
Well, actually, unfortunately, they've become a bit predictable, haven't they? You've got 2 guys on a level. It's a bit like when Cavendish and Greipel were in the peloton. They had to get it pretty wrong for one of them not to win. And it seems that's the way this year as well with Kooij and Merlier. I like their different approaches. I don't agree with everything that they do. I'd have some serious conversations, I guess. But yeah, it's incredible how quick that Merlier is, but questionable in his positioning. And you can just tell when the way Kooij is sprinting and where he's coming from, how he's been delivered. You can tell that Mark Renshaw's in the background in his ear, because Mark Renshaw has the same ethos as I do around bunch sprinting, and very rarely gets it wrong.
Yeah. And so the one surprise, though, in saying that, Hendo, was on stage 12, Søren Warnskjold from X taking the surprise win, I think, in a chaotic sprint. X are having an incredible tour so far, particularly when there's been just such limited opportunities to do anything. But should Kooij have won that stage, and should Pedersen have been relegated in that stage?
Firstly, yes, I think Kooij will be kicking himself and have a fair bit of explaining to do on the bus to the boys. I have no clue why he left his lead-out man. I know what he was thinking. It's too early. He's opened too early, but there's a simple way around that. You stay on the barrier so that you can only see, they're only going to come on the left-hand side of you, and you lay off the wheel. You lay off your lead-out man. Greipel's done it to me multiple times. I've had to go because I felt the pause. I've had to open early, and Greipel, no, sit off 1, even 2 lengths. And then as soon as you feel them, bang, you run at the wheel. So he's getting a drive into the slipstream. No one would have come close. And he actually had 2 opportunities, because then Sørenskjold went bang down the inside of the barriers, and he could have chased that wheel all the way to the line and passed it as well. But he let that go as well. I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. At 300 meters, he's freewheeling, looking for someone to fill the gap. I was like, mate, you're in a Tour de France punch sprint. Go. Yeah. So that was, I mean, then who was I speaking to? Yeah, anyway, I was speaking to someone. I just keep forgetting that they're actually young kids, like, sure, I may have done 100, 200 bunch sprints and been in that scenario multiple times, but he's still a young kid, Yes, he's one of the fastest in the world, and he's winning, but it doesn't mean he's been in that scenario 10 times to correct it. They're so young still, so that they actually, unfortunately, are still learning and making mistakes on the biggest stage, at the Tour de France.
Do you find we talked about this a little bit with Chris Hamilton on Monday's pod, Greg, when I was observing how much the GC teams have stepped out of being a part of the last 10K pretty much at all in the sprints, and how much, one thing I didn't bring up though was like how much that is causing the sprint teams to do so much effort. Like, I think one thing that's been notable from this tour is, except for potentially Jasper Philipsen and De Kooij, there's been really no proper lead outs or teams that are able to get together, because there's just, they're sort of on their hands and knees, it seems, in that last kilometre. And also then that the sprint stages seem to be turning into potential breakaway stages, because it's been so hard to get in the break if Tadej can win the stage.
A couple of things to unpack there, actually. Yeah, interesting take. I can tell you a funny story first. So you mentioned, the GC teams sort of sitting to the back a little bit now, which is great for them, for sure. Because an example was, I think what year did Cadell win the Tour? 8 or 9?
Yeah, don't know.
9.
Anyway,
Not too sure,
we were coming into a bunch sprint, and the same situation. He's with BMC. He's pinned on the right. I'm holding position because we're coming up. We're out just outside the 3K. He doesn't want to be there, but he's beside me, and we're banging handlebars, and I'm just like, this is crazy that I'm having to shift the yellow jersey right now, and it's nearly 3Ks to go, and I'm like, Cadell, I don't want to do this, mate, but I'm gonna have to move you because I need to be there. Oh, Craig, I don't want to be here. And I'm like, well, move, please. That's what I said, exactly my words. Well, move, please. And nothing untoward happened, but I was just thinking, how crazy it was that I was going to have to shift the yellow jersey of the Tour de France because of this stupid rule that they have to be up there to protect their. So I'm really happy to see it change. Going back to the sprint teams on their hands and knees, yeah, look, I just think the way I feel like the sprint trains are in like a circle, like it's going in. It's like bell bottoms, isn't it? They come back into fashion and then they go back out and they come back. So I just don't think the teams have fully dedicated the full structure of the lead out because, I've said before, what's the easiest thing to do? The easiest thing is to be seen on TV and be at the front at 5Ks to go. So you have a man for that. And then what's the hardest thing to do is be together at 2Ks to go when it's actually time to go. And you need 4 riders for that minimum. And teams just haven't put 4 riders together. If you had 4 riders that knew start line, finish line, they would make the 2K and they would get to the finish line, no problem. It's just I don't feel that teams have dedicated that many riders. I think you can see Astana have tried, but I don't know who's doing their sprint tactics, but they arrive way, way too early. And it's the same at Raw. It's easy to be seen at 5Ks to go, and they are, and they're just doing the work. I would love it if they were racing. I was racing against them because it would be so good. They'll be doing the work for us. And then they sort of become a bit, I don't know, redundant at 2K when you can see they can really take off. And then the riders, the GC riders to the back, I see that Tadej said that they've maybe made a little pact between the GC riders where they'll hang to the back a little more. It's definitely safer. There's no question there. And actually, Tills, a really good point that you brought up was, these sprint stages could become breakaway stages. So my theory is, what I think's happening is everybody knows, okay, I still think sprint stage is a sprint stage. Most people know, okay, it's going to be controlled enough, so it's not really a chance of a breakaway. The intermediate, medium stage is the breakaway. Yes, potential finish in a breakaway win, and then your mountain and everything else that Tadej or UAE is going to clean up. Everyone's so desperate for this small amount of stages to win that they race so hard, and if the break goes, everyone has got to be in it. I've got to get in that break. I've got to get in that break. So they neutralize each other, and it just goes on and on. And I was talking to a few riders in the bunch, and they just said, it just doesn't stop racing. And then all of a sudden, half the stage is gone, and UAE go, all right, we can take control now, small break. And then they take control, they put the throttle down, and Tadej goes, oh, well, while I'm here, I might as well clean up the stage. So they're eliminating everything. And because they're so desperate to get into the breakaway, because it's their only real chance of a stage win, they're kind of eliminating each other, and the break's not getting enough time. And then UAE put the throttle down, and away they go. That's just my theory. That's what it looks like from the TV. And I have had, 2 guys tell me it just doesn't stop racing. What are your thoughts on that?
When you're watching it, I'll come back to it. When you're watching it in the car or when you're at home watching it, do you get excited? Does it sort of skin your hair stand up on your arms and you go, fuck, I wish I was there. I want to be going. Do you go, God, I'm glad I'm not there. I don't miss the danger.
Nah, mate, throw me in at, that's what I've always said. Because a lot of people ask, throw me in at 10Ks to go. I would love that stuff because I just love, and I used to plan it so much, back in the old days with get the Google Maps, because I'd be the guy that would organise everything. And back in those days, I'd have a little WhatsApp group that I'd send to our sprinters, and that was the way we communicated. And I would be looking at the roundabouts, what side of the roundabout we're going, because this one's curves to the right a little bit, so let's take the right-hand side, and then this corner here, we're fine. It's 3 lanes. We can go around the outside like you do in Criterion and carry more speed around there. And so, but I don't want to suffer for 4 hours over the mountain to get there. Just throw me in at 10Ks to go. I love that stuff.
You just want to finish. Surely you must think you could still do it when you see guys like Pascal Ackermann going around. You're younger than him, aren't you?
Oh, well. No comment.
Greg, I think the challenge is, as you say, when it's sort of like everyone's going up, or I imagine what happens at night. There used to be a lot of stuff around teams would message each other, or you'd speak to each other, and you're trying to ascertain, is Tadej going to let us go? Like, is it a breakaway day? And so as soon as that word sort of gets out, it's a breakaway day. We're just seeing it, as you say, over and over again, that every single team wants to be in it. And then even when they're in it, it's not the right makeup. So someone keeps bringing it back in. Or
someone's missed it.
And last night, I honestly thought that Ghana breakaway, we'll get on to stage 13 now, the breakaway that Ghana got in, I thought this is going. But it had too many sprint riders, teammates of the sprinters in there that just weren't going to contribute at all to that sprint. But we saw, again, Tim Merlier take a hat-trick last night, and they must be thinking, Sadao, quick step, go, why did we ever bring Remco? We should have brought Tim Merlier the 2 previous years.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive in the final there, but again, like you said, there was just too many passengers, I guess you could say, that have enough confidence in their sprinter. And a lot of people, I guess, were saying on the commentary was saying, on the TV over here, was that it's going to take the sting out of the sprinters' legs. Well, it doesn't take the sting out of the sprinters' legs at all. Like, they're just sitting in there like Tim Merlier is having problems with his radio and didn't even know the attacks were going. He was like, so the sprinters in the lead out, man, they're sat chill. It's not my job to do that. I've got teammates for that role. Got to try something, but it was never gonna work. But yeah, hats off to them for trying. Otherwise, you just sit there in procession and dodge the crashes, I guess. So but if the makeup was correct, it would be a lot harder to control if they didn't have the passengers. But again, I think what you would find would happen is once those little repechos were over, you would find the sprint teams actually going and having a yarn. Hey, mate, put your guys up. I'm putting my guys up. Let's go. We've got to catch this now. I think you'll get that because, again, limited amount of sprint stages. Let's not mess it up by not catching the front.
Do you like with the how they've brought in the yellow and red card? Do you think you would have got many yellow cards in your day?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I was just a little bit trickier and smarter the way I did it. Some of the guys, I'd just shake my head. It's like, because the thing is, you're in the heat of the moment. The people don't realise you're doing 190 heart rate, and you do everything to get to the front of the bike race. That's why if you simplify it, you can get in the least trouble. You know, with the lead out, being guided, staying on one side of the road. Don't sprint down the middle. When you swing off from your turn, you know, like don't swing back into the middle of the peloton.
Yeah.
Some of the calls though, I don't know what you guys think, but some of the calls for the yellow cards, like it's completely oblivious. They no clue. They're not intentional at all. And next thing, relegated, yellow card. I'm like,
It's bizarre. You'd think they'd know, the judges or the commissaires. You'd think, you know, it's the Tour de France is a grand final. You'd think you'd have the best guys in the business and that they would know.
So Adam Hansen's got a lot to do with it. Obviously, part of
Yeah,
my lead
your
out
old
for many
teammate,
years. Yeah. And I've spoken to him, and his goal is to get like a lead out man like myself or someone on the panel that actually has sprinting knowledge. You know, and
Yes.
you know, because you can see things that they do. They're like, oh, that was tricky. Well done. You know, like that would impede the rider or something like that. You can see these things from, you know, if you've been in a bunch sprint 100 times. But some of the calls, it's like that. This guy still doesn't know what he's done wrong. You know, some of the times when he opens the sprint or he's still questioning it. Like, how? What?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's some calls that. But then again, as long, I think, I don't know what you guys think. As long as they're consistent, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's the same for everyone, then, mate, you just play by the rules. You know how it is.
Do you think Mad's going to win the green jersey? Do you think it's his to lose now?
I do, yes.
Yep.
There's not enough opportunities anymore, is there, really? And
No.
Champs-Élysées gone. And I think you'll see him on the attack doing one of those mega climbs that he can. I don't know what power he's doing for 10 minutes up some of those climbs. It must be horrible.
Greg, coming back to the relegation, it is like I think that's all we really ever want, like is just the consistency. And I think that's what's so hard for sprinters is that you can do one thing in one race and then do it again elsewhere and get done. And that's what's so hard and like get away with it or whatever it might be. It's just that I remember at the Tour Down Under this year, I think it was Sam Welsford either got relegated or there was the fine and yellow card and it was absolutely ridiculous call. And it was sort of like, that's fine if that's what the new call is and that's going to be consistent everywhere we go. But what surprised me this tour, Hendo, is that it seems like something I've never seen before. A commissaire's gone back on their call.
Yes.
So we saw, Philipsen, he was relegated and then brought back. And then obviously Pedersen last night as well in the intermediate sprint. I thought he was done. And I just do not know. To me, Hendo, this is like, it can actually be black and white. If you open up your sprint and you go completely offline, you're done. Like, it can be that simple, can't it?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And like I thought Philipsen was going to get the yellow card for what Mads did to him. I thought that's what they'll probably do. Oh, Philipsen's going to get a yellow card here because Mads went from one side of the road to the other and nearly took him over the fence in that intermediate sprint. Like, they'll get Philip. But so the ruling is when the commissaires. So I did my DS license 4 or 5 years ago, and one of the you've got to learn all the rules and regulations, obviously. And the ruling is commissaire's ruling is final. So you can appeal it, but you're pissing up against the wall, really, because it's like, it's done. But for them to actually then turn around and go back on it, is that opened now something?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, it's now, can every decision now be reversed?
Yeah, they're opening themselves up. I remember I've been relegated once on a sprint. I actually won against Josie Talbot, which was rare for me. So I was absolutely spewing. But it was sort of like I got perspective relegated because in the intermediate sprint, I absolutely moved off my line because it was one of those courses where you took a really hard corner after the finish line. So moved off my line to sort of take the corner well. And but then in the actual sprint, hardly moved, had heaps of people filming it, could show them. And they practically relegated me for the finish because of what I'd done in the intermediate sprint, and you just cannot.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. As soon as they say this is what it is, I've never ever seen a commissaire change their mind.
So are you sort of hinting towards maybe that Phillips and what he's done in the past, the UCI?
Well, exactly. That's what it seemed like yesterday when he did potentially get relegated, because I didn't think it was that bad. But the sprint before that, it was. I was surprised he didn't get relegated in the earlier stage.
Yeah, and I think he has had some questionable sprints in the past too, so they're always looking extra hard for him. And I think maybe they don't like the DSs in that team as well. So
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
so they're like, oh, we hate these guys. Let's just punish them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It surprises me, Hendo, though, to hear just how, and I think that's just why you were so good, how involved you were in, I guess, the planning of how you guys were going to do the lead out. Because in my mind, I thought that all sat with the DS and the team staff.
So that's a really, so again, something to elaborate on is the DSs, like still 95% of them are just ex-bike riders that have had no real specialty in the sport, and yet will line up in 100 bunch sprints a year and not have a specialist in the car calling them or at the team meeting. Like I know for a fact that quite a few of them get to 5Ks to go and say, good luck, guys. Like no guidance. Yeah, no, and I'm not joking.
Wow.
That is like, because none of them have been at a bunch sprint. You know, it's a very, very specific part of the sport. And it's one of the things that I'm sort of advocating to. You can see the teams that have it. You know, as soon as Kittel arrived, the Rockets were in form.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, Soudal have got Tom Steele's in the car and Ilya Kessa. Like they know what they're doing. Yeah, Renshaw with Astana. Renshaw with Decathlon.
Decathlon.
You know, they know what they're doing. It makes a difference. And what it does is they just turn up more and more regularly at the right place at the right time. You keep doing this in bunch sprinting, you will win eventually if you keep turning up. Going up the side of a mountain, we know that weeks ago, your power to weight ratio, your watts per kilogram, we know whether or not you're going to win that stage or capable of winning that stage. That's done. There's no rocket science in that. There's no luck. There's no positioning. There's no real skill. You can either push the power or you can't. Bunch sprint, is this corridor going to open? Are you coming from too far back? Have you arrived too early? Have they arrived too early and they're stopping? And there's so many intricacies in a bunch sprint that can go your way. And that's why if you get the finals correct and you keep turning up, like Soren's goal, for example, keep turning up, your day will come. 100% your day will come.
I guess it's a bit like AFL. You got your coach, but then you got a forward line coach, back line coach, on ball coach. They've got specialist coaches for each line, and
doesn't it make
cycling
sense?
should be it makes sense. You should have a specialist sprint coach for the flat sprint stages. Perfect sense.
They have TT specialists, and yet we do 5 time trials a year.
Yeah.
But we do 100
God,
bunch
they put a
sprints.
lot. That's such a good call, Hendo. The amount
they do.
of money and focus all those teams put in stage one, which just seems for so many of those teams just such a distant memory. I know that it had a lot to do with GC as well, and they couldn't lose time, but it's so true the amount of effort put into time trialing compared to sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it is what it is, and it's like, I just think. Yeah, I think it's somewhere that the sport could go for sure. Because it's you can see the teams already that are just starting to, and maybe it is a crossover. Maybe it's the DS that has sprinted in the past. You know, maybe it is. But the thing is, even good sprinters aren't the best at pointing a train in the right direction or working out, because they were guided to 200 often and just opened with 2,000 watts or whatever they had back in the day. But you can tell the teams that have had a DS in the car that wasn't just, when I say just a bike ride, I don't mean that derogatory at all. But, I was never any good at anything else other than the final 10 Ks of a bike race. That's where I felt comfortable. I guess it came from my track background also, obviously multiple world champion on the track. I knew how to find the front of a bike race. I knew the shortest way there. I knew the way I could get there without using much energy. So it was. I think that makes a huge difference in the sprinting world.
Tell me something. Oh, go Matilda. No, you go.
You go, Lee. Do you think that the art of the pure sprinter is dead? I thought before this tour that potentially you needed to be more of an all-rounder, like a Mads Pedersen, a Philipsen, etc., who can do these sort of classics. But then seeing the likes of Tim Merlier, it's almost like you need to be that pure sprinter, because anything else could go to a breakaway or could go to a bit more of an all-rounder. It's almost like you've got to be all or nothing now as potentially as a sprinter.
Yeah, I don't think that's changed too much. I think your sprinters, they're fast, and now you've got to look at. I often look at. It's not just about how much power you can produce. It's what's your top speed. Like, you have to be fast. Like, you have to be able to go above 70 consistently. And now the sprinting is heading towards.
It's terrifying.
What the track's been doing. Like they're doing. They're doing the big 56:10 sprint, and it's finally starting to catch up, because on the track, you see them. I've got ex-teammates on the track that used to tell me sprint qualifying. He goes, a mate of mine, Eddie Dawkins, was world champ team sprint. He was saying sprint qualifying now is just like doing 40 reps in the leg press. Whoever can leg press the most is going to win sprint qualifying, because they're just on huge gears, 140, 150-inch gear, winding that thing at the top of the banking. And road sprinting's coming that way. You see Biniam Girmay, for example. He is just crunching that 56:10, and it's just, and they're fast. They are moving it. They're getting stronger and stronger, and they're stronger bike riders than probably what we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And it is evolving, but it's just the top end speed. Like, I just keep harping on about it. I don't care if you can push out, 1,800 watts. I want to see, can you hit 73? Can you hit? Are you consistently above 70 k an hour in the sprint? Otherwise, you're not going to win. If you don't, you're not going fast enough. If you're not hitting
crazy.
70.
I don't know how and where you even train that. That's just insane.
Again, it's strength, isn't it? And aerodynamics and the rolling resistance. I mean, everything adds up. How technology's changed so much. It's you throw your leg over the bike nowadays on beach road and you're doing 45 k an hour.
Definitely.
No, but it's true, isn't it? How fast they are.
How Ride's doing 50, 55 now. It's incredible.
Exactly.
It's just gone up so much.
And it's amazing. I even know it here, just training at home, when I'm just put some nice tyres on and some nice clothes or whatever, just like unbelievable. I'm like, there's a climb here, Els Angels. Like, I went 2 minutes quicker up there than what I did as a professional, just because the roads are sealed fast. I'm on a light bike that's actually, close to 7 kilos, as opposed to the old Ridley back in the day. It might have been eight and a bit. Yeah. So it's just mad.
Everything has gone fast. There was a guy on Hellride last week who's just come back into it, who's one of the good guys back in the day, and I saw him on Wednesday, and he says, I can't believe how fast things are. He goes, I got my quickest ever Hellride time on Saturday. It's the middle of July, and he'd been doing it for years back in the day, and first run back and broken all these records, because things are so much faster now.
They really are. They really, really are. And until you get on a tuned bike, so we call it optimized. Until you get on and you're fully optimized, clothing, position, tires, chain, bike, until you get on one and feel it, it's like cheating. Like, last year I was testing these tires for EF Education, which was pretty cool, because Ben Healy went on to ride these tires in the Tour and win the stage. And Andreas Clear was an old teammate of mine back in T-Mobile, and he's the wheel and tyre expert on EF. And he rang me. He said, "Hey, Hendy, we got these tyres. We want to run them. We just need to find out how much grip they've got in and out of damp corners, because we're a bit nervous of them." Oh, okay, I'll try them. But mate, honestly,
test crash dummy.
Exactly, mate. And I put my hand up. Right. But anyway, no, enough grip. And the feedback I gave, I rang him that next day. I said, mate, these are like cheating. It's like, they're so fast. And it was just fast tires. Absolutely. Enough grip. And obviously he said, look, we're only going to use them in the dry. We just wanted to see what your thoughts were on a patchy descent. And I don't
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong. I didn't hammer the descent, but I didn't feel anything. And he goes,
Yep.
"That's perfect. Thanks very much." And so what they did, they optimized my bike. They put the chain on, they put the bearings on, they waxed it. They said, "Just go and try this out." And I was like, "Oh wow, this is fun."
Yeah, wow. Tell me something. In your opinion, is Pog the GOAT?
Yeah.
Yep.
I truly believe that.
I agree.
And
Yep,
I hope
so do I.
I hope he just keeps winning. Like all these,
Yeah, so do I.
these guys saying, "Oh, like imagine, is it Duplantis, the high jumper? Oh,
Oh,
nah,
yeah.
just set it a couple of centimeters lower today. I'm not going to win." Can you imagine? He's not going to do that,
No.
or not turning up. Not. It's like all the top athletes in the world. The top sprinter. He's not going to not win it if he can.
No.
I hope he just keeps flogging them. And it's like,
Yeah, so do
lift your
I.
game. Because the thing is, again, you know where the level is. It's not hidden. It's not rocket science. Hey guys, this is how many watts per kilogram you've got to be doing for 10, 15, 20 minutes. It's there. It's not no
Yep.
guesswork.
Yep.
Hendo, on that
How is
same
he so
question,
fast though? How is he so
Do you-
fast? Like
do you think that the record is 5 Tour de France's or 7?
it's 7, isn't it? What is the record?
Well, it depends.
Oh,
Depends
no,
whether
'cause
you
they're
count-
saying it's-
whether you count.
Yeah.
There's only been a lot of discussion this last week, Hendo, on are we counting Lance or are we counting like Merckx and Hanoi and those guys? Are they the 5 or is it Lance's 7?
Because the guys that have had 5 before weren't taking
Yeah,
drugs.
exactly. Yeah, Merckx went pod 3 times. Everyone likes to conveniently forget that. So, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think Pog is the better athlete because I mean, back in the day, Merckx, he was racing farmers. They'd just turn up with their woolly socks on and a possum skin bloody chamois, and away they'd go.
Pog's against specialists. Nowadays, you got classic
Correct.
specialists, and he's beating the specialists.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
So I think to answer your question, in my opinion,
Yeah, I agree.
he's the GOAT. Like, how does he even compete in those in Roubaix and it's even to win Milan San Remo? Like,
Yes.
it's incredible.
We're just
And
so
then you
lucky
see-
to be witnessing it.
Yes, I'm with you. It's like,
Yeah.
mate, we're alive in this area. Like, I've heard of
Yes.
Merckx and I've heard,
Yeah.
everyone waffles on about
Yeah, I
it,
say
and
the
I
same
never
thing.
saw any of it, And I guess, of
Yeah.
course, a lot of it is to do with how accessible everything is now on the internet, or
Yeah.
streaming or whatever, social
Yeah.
media. We never saw that for Merckx, but and I'm sure the guys that were racing Merckx at the time were like, how the hell do you beat this guy? He's just
Yeah.
a freak. But I think if you just because the sport's evolved so much, there's so many specialists in every category, every department,
Yes.
and he's cleaning them up basically, isn't he? He's like,
Yep.
so I think that's interesting. What do you think? Is it 5 or 7? What's your take?
I just, I like the hard one with it. Like, I think they all had their, they all got at one point. I think they were done for using. I think what makes for me Lance so much worse is he was such an instigator. Like, I think that whole drug era went for so much longer because he was just the king of it. Like, he worked so hard and just ended anyone who tried to speak out about it. He was an enormous bully. He was he was the head of the CFMEU. He was like the, you've got to punish the guy who organized the guy that threw the firebomb into the shop more than the guy that threw it. Like, it was, I just think
I still
he
think it's
ruined
7
lives.
though. Yeah,
He
did.
ruined
He's a
lives.
prick.
Like,
It's still 7 though. Like, I know it's not, but it is. Like, it's still 7. Like, that's my opinion. Like,
No, that's a good point, Tills. That's a good way of looking at it. And like Lee, I'm with you. I totally agree. I think it's 7, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
But that's a really good
yeah.
perspective that you put on it, Tills. It's like, you do have to punish the guy that organised the guy to throw the
Yeah.
firebomb. I like that.
Yeah. I think, and I think that has been lost quite a bit. And if I met Lance, I would be totally like, yeah, amazing. There's Lance.
Awestruck.
But I think, and he has had, some repentance, but also he hasn't. He was never punished. He never, and so his punishment is that he can, mate. He's a multi-millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah,
he made sure that they couldn't take any of his money.
I know, but he went on Oprah. He was publicly shamed. It was a fair punishment. Like
Oprah,
I do think he.
Try
but still, it was embarrassing.
On
Yeah, I know, but it was still a downfall for him as much. Like he did lose a lot. Like he's got his swagger back.
He should have been in jail.
Yeah, then so should have a lot of others. You know what I mean? So
it's amazing, isn't it? Like a topic like Lance can divide.
Yeah.
You can divide. Like we're still talking about Lance, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's amazing that we're still talking about him.
Yeah, but like
and
I think
dividing opinions.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Like, I think, we should get Rupert Guinness on it at some point. But, like, speaking to the journalists in that era with Lance, if you asked, because he was the biggest name, and if you even indicated that you thought that he used drugs, he would blacklist you. You would ask a question and he would be silent. He wouldn't even answer. So you're going there with a publication and you can't even get a quote or be even near him because he's blacklisted you because you indicated potentially. And then he was. At the end of the day, after all of this, he actually was. I'm probably just a girl looking at who, I loved Lance. And that's probably why I am, more hurt by it potentially as well. Maybe I've got coloured glasses on it. But yeah, that's... Yeah, the way he acted. And I think that's the other thing, Hendo, is why Poggy is so loved, is from the outside, he's the most wonderful ambassador for our sport.
Yeah.
He could be an arsehole. He could be,
he's not.
See you next Tuesday and just go out there and just give no one any time. Seems to love what he is doing is amazing.
And you saw how he was with Tim Merlier's kid after the stage. Like, I'm just like, how can anyone boo him or dislike him? He's just such a lovely human.
And he just looks like he loves racing his bike. That's the cool thing.
Yes.
It's not a chore to him. Like, I've got a mate who lives in Nice, and he just bought the new Y1 RS, and he's super proud of it. And he stopped at the coffee shop, and next thing, Bling and Pogačar roll in. But he just goes, Pog. He doesn't just roll in. He comes in, jumps the bloody curb on his front brake, up on his front wheel, comes in, stops beside his bike. Here he is in his new Y1 RS, and he goes, "Oh, nice bike, mate." And
so
he just
good.
Goes, I felt so embarrassed. I had to leave. He goes, I had to leave because here I am in my blinged out bloody Y1 RS.
No.
And he turns up on one wheel. He's like, felt so embarrassed. And I'm like, nah, man,
that's
you would have loved
cool.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that was pretty
Hendo,
cool.
Did you ever experience, you're on some of the biggest teams, did you ever experience booing with any of your GC riders, or what do you think of the booing? I don't think he's getting it a lot, but it has been a topic this week that Pog, going off the front, he's starting to get a lot of boos from the French fans.
Isn't that just French?
Yeah, exactly.
Lee, we see it a lot in the AFL.
Oh, you do? Okay, I thought it was just a French thing.
Oh, yeah, but that's because they've done something dirty, like they've hit someone behind play, or they've said something. Like Pog said nothing. All he's done is win. That's not his fault.
I just thought it was a French thing, the booing. I just honestly, and what do they want? I just can't. I mean, again, it's just beyond me. I don't get involved in that sort of thing. It's like that discussion. I get it. He's getting booed or whatever. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to slow down and let a Frenchman win?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get. So it's just
no one else can pass go.
No gifts.
It's beyond my capacity to think. Like, why would you boo? Like, just be in awe and applaud and be happy. Like, honestly, I just think it's a French. Like, it's. I don't think it's as derogatory. That's what I'm getting at, a French thing. I don't think it's as derogatory as what it is if a Kiwi or an Aussie were booing someone in the crowd. I think it's a different culture. It's not necessarily the booing that we think. think you can Wikipedia that. You can look that up on Grok. I reckon I reckon I've read that somewhere.
of AI.
There's a different meaning to the buoy. We need to get the AI in on this and weigh in.
Hendo, we saw one of the first sort of real nasty crashes last night. You must have had some bad crashes in your time. How do you experience that and then go and put yourself back in that situation the next day?
It's one of those things, and you do have to work on it a lot, actually. You become a little bit gun shy, because as you know, in a bunch sprint, if you touch your brakes, you're going to lose 3 or 4 k's an hour, and then to get that back, you just can't in the final of the bunch. You just can't touch your brakes. And then, of course, when you've had a big off, generally it's a situation where, let's say, if it was a wheel chopped you in front or something that you've got in the mix and it should have opened, or you probably shouldn't have crashed, that's when you can become a bit gun shy because you're not sure how it happened. A bunch sprint like there where the first guy went down and then there's the domino effect.
Yeah.
It's not as scary. Like, you just know, and you're on the anchors and you've just sent your ass over the back wheel as much as possible, trying to scrub off as much speed if you've got time. And that's not what scares you, those crashes. It's the ones where all of a sudden, next thing, you're still hanging onto your handlebars and you're up like this going. They're the ones that scare you. Like, how did that happen? And then you're a bit gun shy. And yeah, it does. It just takes time. It really does. And it can take a while. I had it on the track, actually. A situation where
that's bad.
It was a filthy crash, and I was actually a bit gun shy. Yeah, I was a bit gun shy on the track there for a while. I couldn't. I had to work out how to get over it.
I see your old teammate finally retired. I think he's 86 years old now. Froome finally retired and made it official the other week. Finally.
I read something.
No, don't say he's coming back.
I read he had an interview and goes, they asked him, so when did you finally decide about your retirement? And he goes, when I signed 5 years ago with Israel Startup Nation.
Oh,
I thought that was classic quote.
Oh, wow.
Just take the 5 years.
Why not?
Retire.
Yeah, exactly. If they're going to give it to him, take it.
Nice retirement plan.
Yeah, definitely.
5
years notice. 5 years. He's given them 5 years notice.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
Well, Hendo, we're in for an entertaining finish to our tonight's stage later today for you in Europe. It's all flat except for a casual almost 2,500 meters that comes within 35 kilometers, which is 50k from the finish because the finish is all downhill. Will it be a Tom Pidcock descending special? Essentially, there's just only 2 hills which come after 150 kilometres of mostly flat roads and then a big descent to the finish. Will it be breakaway, GC? Can Mads get over?
If I looked at this on paper when I was racing, it's got Richard Carapaz, Tom Pidcock written all over it, hasn't it? Breakaway, let them go, nice day. The GC boys can do what they want, 10 minutes behind. And have, they can still take some GC time. Pogačar can still take some more time, but not win the stage. But I think it's possible that, again, everyone knows it's a breakaway. Everyone races and races and races, and they're racing at 55 k's an hour. So next thing, 100 k's is done of the stage. A little break finally goes, and then the team starts riding. They don't get enough time. I just can see that seems to play out all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if then the brakes neutralise each other and then UAE put the throttle down and Pog wants to take some more time on his GC rivals. And, a byproduct of that is he catches the front, descends to victory. I can see that happening. But what I would love to see is, your Pidcocks, your Carapaz getting away in the breakaway. And because that climb, that's a very, very hard climb. I don't think Mads shouldn't get over that. know.
Two
What
and a
do you
half
think?
thousand meters. I think this tour is just so ridiculous to pick but this is one of the hardest ones to pick a winner. But surely this has to be one of those riders like Varchek, Simmons, Carapaz. What can Pidcock's showing a lot better form. What can Flappy do on the descent though? Not sure.
You'll be okay.
You'll be all right. Just stay away from the white shit, as Pidcock says.
Yes, I saw that.
It was a shame to see
I had a
Chris
question
Hamilton
there.
come down.
Yes.
What's that question?
In all of that.
What was your question?
Was it a Jayco question?
It's gone.
I had a question. Let me
forgotten.
quickly get your thoughts on this then, for both of you being Jayco fans. Caleb Ewan had some strong comments this week on SBS around that doesn't seem like on Jayco riders are helping one another. I thought, what's the Swiss rider's name? Mario Schmidt and Plappy worked pretty well together. But it is probably a little bit hard. The sprinter's left on his own. Harper sort of seems to be trying to make breaks. Harper's
on that team.
Ben O'Connor seems to be trying to make breaks, even though Tadej has said he wants to win the stage. Your thoughts on how they're going, Hendo?
Yeah, it looks maybe it's just they haven't got the right combination of riders to help each other. You've got a sprinter, you need someone that's willing to risk. I guess it is hard also if you're going to risk a bunch final for someone who's probably going to run a top 10. You don't quite ride through the brick wall for them. You kind of, you tap the brakes here and, oh, shit, it's a bit, good luck, mate, where you go.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you go, if I get him inside a kilometre on Merlier's wheel, I'll fight for that. If he gets there, mate, he's got a chance.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a difference. I think that's probably to play. And then, I don't know. I to be honest, I haven't been paying a lot of attention to Jayco. Maybe because they are quite invisible. I have seen Bling, and I feel a bit sorry for Bling because he's such a good bike rider. He loves racing. He loves winning. He just needs more time to come back, I think.
Yeah.
How old is Bling now, actually?
35.
I don't know how old.
I've got it here. Yeah, he's 35.
35.
Yeah. Same as Durbridge,
It's getting
actually.
long in the tooth.
Yeah, same as Durbo. So, yeah, crazy that they're the same age, actually. With Durbo's being
So I was
last
40
tour.
when I did my last Tour de France. I don't think there's many people at 40 doing the Tour de France anymore. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. You and Garen Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
Did he do it as 40?
39, I think. He retired
Yeah.
at 39, I think it was. Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's amazing.
I don't think a lot of people do. I just think
No.
Yeah.
just because how
yeah. Too many
focused they are
altitude
now,
camps.
from a young age,
Oh.
chasing altitude camps, chasing numbers, looking at their power meters. I was DS and coach here of the U23 EF team, and I was starting to organise these rides, like these group rides. We had 6 of the kids in town. I can again teach them some things, how to descend, how to save some energy when we do some swap offs. And one of the cool things we did the sprint drills. Like I taught them, just because you're not a sprinter when you come in a small group, I taught them how to win from a small group. How to accelerate, control from the front, use your gears. It's hard to pass an accelerating mass. So I showed them just all these little tricks I could show them. But do you think I could get them out on a regular to bloody do this group ride? Like, look, I've got XYZ on zone 3, zone 2, and a bit of zone. I've got this, and and they just want to go out on their own and chase the power meter. And I'm like, I guess, and we'd have our conference call and our discussion. And I said, like, it's just how it is. It's like I really struggle. I'll tee up the meeting, on Teams and get the group ride. We're meeting at 9 here, and the apology comes in. The closer we get to the ride, next thing, there's 2 of us going out for a ride.
Yeah.
But that's got to take a
Hendo,
big toll, don't you think? Like,
Oh, and you've already heard it from Paul Sextus, though. Like, he's already said, I remember earlier this year, even before the spring, he'd been on 2 altitude camps, one in December and then one in March. Like, it's just, and he's 19. And so you know that these guys aren't going to see probably past their 30s, surely. And he was saying then, I just haven't seen my girlfriend. Yeah, so, but I just haven't seen my girlfriend, and that's the challenge, I think, for them, is just sucking that enjoyment out of it. And I think that's where Tadej is so good, because we've already seen Paul Sextus. He was a little bit annoyed at the start of the tour. He was telling people to be quiet and getting just a bit frustrated, where I think Tadej is so good at, and that's probably because he's just always winning. It's easy to be great when you're winning and in a good mood. But he always brings a certain aura of enjoyment to it. And I think I loved an interview. It was a great question that TNT asked Tadej when Del Toro had lost all that time in the last GC stage, and they asked Tadej, what would you say to Del Toro? And he said, just sit, take a step back and enjoy it. Look where you are. It's okay. Like, just, like, enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. And I just thought, wow, like, to have that as your mentor in your team, like, I think, it's such a great outlook.
So
That's
good.
what you want to say to any young athlete.
yeah, that's cool, isn't it? That's really cool to hear that. Yeah, take a look around, mate. Look where you are. Look at the crowds you're riding to. Look where you are right now. You're in it's insanity. Yeah, this is a lot of suffering and a lot of it's a lot of work to get there, a lot of sacrifice to get there. But have a look around and try and enjoy it.
Yep.
Well, Hendo, just last question. Thanks. We've been doing a couple of coaching segments thanks to Join Cycling. But as you are a sprint coach, or you're a coach to everyone, but your profession, I would love to know what would be like a key session that sprinters would do with you. Like, what if you had to get fast? What is like your go-to session?
So it's one of the most underrated things for sprinting is actually a standing start from a slow speed, and not it doesn't have to be a massive gear, middle of the block, but slow right down, because then what you actually do is you employ a whole range of cadence. So you go from your 30, 40, 50 up to race cadence, up to 120 RPM, and you repeat that. So you get the power and the torque that's needed for sprint training. But you also get, a lot of people don't have coordination, and a lot of people don't understand it. There's so much coordination involved in being able to be out of your saddle, sprinting tidily and fast, aero, at 120 RPM. And if you can become efficient, it's really good. That would be my number one training, but there's probably 3 I use. The other one is, again, just a technique one. It's just high cadence stuff out of the seat, small gear. So it's not about power. Again, it's this coordination, because it's so important. And so you watch a lot of people when they sprint, they just look awkward on their bike out of the seat.
God, I look horrible. Oh.
But it's getting that coordination, Lee. That's all you need.
I know.
Mate.
It's funny you say that, because Jez Hunt, who was helping me for Melbourne and Warrnambool last year, I had to do those things, the standing start, sprint, and he said, make it coordinated, concentrate on your form, exactly what you've just said. That's what he was getting me to do. Then he saw a video of me doing it and just went, oh, shit.
Because it goes through the whole range of cadence.
Yeah.
And the other thing
pretty,
we do
Greg.
for top speed is we find a downhill, a nice big downhill where you'll get a free lead out into an uphill. So it's a reverse cadence thing. So you come in at maybe 125 and then you get to the top and you're just grunting to the top. So that'd be my 3 key sprint drills.
They're fantastic. I'm a bit sad you said that first one, Hendo, because I swear to God, those pricks, when I go out with them on North Road or something, pretty sure they do that first session at every red light. So when we take off from the red light, I seem to be going like...
Oh, fuck. Why do I have to do 1,000 watts? I say, why do I have to do 1,000 watts off the light, you fuckheads?
Imagine me.
Always complaining.
Oh, my God, it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. But, but you've got talent. I don't have talent. I'm a bum. Oh, God.
All right, we'll leave it with you just calling everyone the F word. Hendo, thank you so much for your time. It was fantastic to get your insight, and
definitely, mate. Thank you.
God, it's crazy that you're not I'd love to see. I know you don't want to be a DS and you don't want to be driving around France for over 3 weeks, but man, you are a talent in what you could do with some of these teams. So yeah, it's great to get your analysis.
Thanks very much. I could have chatted here all day. Actually, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me back on. I really do.
Pleasure.
And it's nice talking to people that actually know some stuff, as well, and they can see it and bring other perspectives too. And it gets me thinking. It's like, wow, that's pretty clever, actually. So thanks again, guys. And anytime, I'd love to come back.
Yeah, always, mate.
No, we
always.
love having you. Well, there's a lot more we could have spoken about. How the Kiwis going? How's Aaron Gate goes on? But Hendo, we'll leave it at the hour. Thanks so much, and we'll speak to you soon. A big thank you to Join Cycling. Be sure to check out the links below, and of course, Black Sheep Cycling. We will see you soon. Katerna, have a good weekend. Good luck on Saturday.
I'll see you later. Hell ride tomorrow.
Thanks, Hendo. Bye for now.
See ya.
The Domestics by Black Sheep Cycling.